Hey guys, so we're going to go over the fertilization requirements of Bermuda, and most of this is geared towards 419 for your residential lawns. If you get into something where you're more sports turf and you're mowing a lot lower, this is obviously different. But what everybody recommends is 1 pound of nitrogen per month on Bermuda. It does require a little bit more on the fertilizer side than something like your zoysia, but their timing is everything with this. So we don't want to just go out 1 pound 12 months out of the year. What we do is we do want to fertilize during the growing season. So normally from when we're coming out of dormancy, which will be about March through September, October, depending on our weather, right in there. But in the springtime, we want our nitrogen level to be higher. So if you're getting something like if you're buying your own at the store, or if you're getting it from a distributor, you want something, a 20, 10, 10. So your nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Our nitrogen requirements are higher in the springtime. And we do want to go with slow release. And this is just good for the soil, good for the environment. That way it over normally 6 to 8 weeks, it'll slowly release the fertilizer. And nitrogen is required by the plant, and what it does, it helps take up all the other nutrients. We have all of our macro and our micronutrients. Depending on where you're at and your soil conditions and your pH will depend on what your turf and soil requires or what it's lacking. So that could determine what type of fertilizer you need. But here around Austin, as we get into June, a lot of times we'll do apply a fertilizer, and what it has is a low nitrogen because we're about to get into the really hot summer, and we don't really want to push this grass to start growing real fast, and then we run into a lot of scalping issues because when we get in those 95 and 100 plus degree days, if it's getting enough water, that Bermuda is growing normally just fine without any help. It is going crazy. So we want to reduce our nitrogen levels, but a lot of our micronutrients we want up in there because we want the plant to take in something. It'll help with the summer stress. And then the July, August, a lot of times we won't put any fertilizer down just because the grass is getting stressed with the heat, and that June app normally carries it through pretty well. And then you do want to get some more down in late summer and going into fall. And again, this will be a low nitrogen application as well. So depending on what you can find, it's like a 5-5-20 or a 5-5-10 or an 8-5. There's so many different varieties, but we do want the nitrogen low, and we always want the phosphorus low because that's becoming a hot topic with whether or not it'll be banned at some point or not. And then the potassium is we want that on the higher end as we're going into winter. That's going to help the grass kind of prepare the plant because it is alive in the wintertime. It is using nutrients and stored carbs to make it through the wintertime. It still will pull things up through the soil. It won't take anything through the leaf during the wintertime when it's dormant. But we do want to get normally September, October, somewhere in there before it starts shutting down for the winter. We do want to get one more fertilizer app in there. And throughout the November, December, January, February, we really don't need to put anything down. We just want to keep the moisture there because it will take some in over the winter. But we can get into that on another video once we get closer to winter. But you just want to make sure that with Bermuda we do keep the nitrogen levels in there, but we'll play with it as the season goes. So higher in the spring up until through June, and then July, August we hold back quite a bit, and then the September, October we'll go ahead and reintroduce some nutrients in there, low nitrogen levels, and get it ready for the winter time. There's a whole lot to cover on this, but just trying to keep it short. So if you have any questions, just put it in the comments and we will get it answered for you. And thanks a lot.